This is Amsterdam's red light district. De Wallen is full of sex shops, cheap hotels, and peep shows. Scantily clad women in shop windows openly offer their services. It's a lucrative business, says Setna, a Spaniard who has worked here for 4 years.
Even if you're old and ugly, you can still earn 2,500 euros a month. A normal woman makes around 3,000. And a really pretty señorita can make as much as 10,000 euros a month.
The promise of that kind of money is a magnet for young women. But not everyone comes here of their own free will. Samantha is only 15 years old. She was forced to work as a prostitute for 4 years, some of that time in Amsterdam. Nude photos, beatings, and rape were her daily reality, and she became completely dependent on her pimp.
You feel like you have no choice. He gave me drugs, so I didn't think about it anymore. He told me again and again that I liked what I did. I stayed because of him. I was scared of being alone.
Just a few weeks ago, she finally found a way out, thanks to Anita de Wit. She lost her own 15-year-old daughter to prostitution. Since then, she's run a campaign against what the Dutch call lover boys, men who force girls into prostitution. But it was too late for her own child. Now aged 20, her daughter still works in this Amsterdam bar. She's an adult, so her mother has no legal power to intervene. The Amsterdam Council now wants to set a minimum legal age for prostitution. Studies show that half of sex workers in De Wallen aren't there of their own free will.
Most of the victims of human trafficking are younger than 23 years. That's why we want to introduce a minimum age. In the Netherlands, you have to be 21 to drive a bus. But there's no such limit for prostitution, although young women are particularly vulnerable and less able to defend themselves.
Lodewijk Asser wants to improve the image of his city. He says crime is too high in the red light district, so he wants a closing time and stricter controls on those who rent out windows. His proposals have been met with mixed reactions. 38-year-old Setna thinks a minimum age makes sense.
Women who work as prostitutes should be 25 or 30 years old. Then they know what they're getting into and can take care of themselves. Young women are seduced by the money. They think it's easy, but it ruins their future.
But other prostitutes are skeptical. Many are unwilling to speak on camera, but they fear the new rules could make their jobs even harder. They say the politicians are more interested in the city's image than the working conditions behind the windows. Samantha doesn't believe that a minimum age for legal prostitution will make any difference.
The customers knew I wasn't working there willingly and I was underage, but they didn't care. The younger, the better.
Here in the red light district, the customer and his money are still king. And that's one rule a minimum age isn't likely to change.